With every new Madden NFL release comes a fresh set of teams to rebuild. Franchise players love taking teams that are near the bottom of the league and taking them to the Super Bowl. Madden NFL 25 has no shortage of teams looking for direction, so here are the most intriguing options you can use to build the next great NFL dynasty.
Sports Gamers Online is the #1 source for the sports gamer.
Chicago Bears. If you've been watching this year's edition of Hard Knocks on HBO, you probably have the Chicago Bears at the top of your list of teams to rebuild as well. Of course, the main appeal of this team is 2024 #1 overall pick Caleb Williams. The former USC quarterback begins at a 76 overall rating, and Williams hopes to bring stability to a position that the Bears have struggled with since the departure of Jay Cutler. Surrounding Williams is one of the best collections of talent at the skill positions in the entire league. DeAndre Swift and Khalil Herbert form a good running back committee out of the backfield. At receiver, the Bears traded for 6-time Pro Bowler Keenan Allen and drafted former Washington receiver Rome Odunze with the 9th overall pick. The team also signed DJ Moore to a 4-year, $110 million contract extension. Add to that 25-year-old tight end Cole Kmet, and you have one of the most formidable receiving corps in the NFL. The place where the Bears are weak is in the trenches. On defense, they did trade for and extend former Commanders edge rusher Montez Sweat last year. Opposite him is 2024 5th-round pick Austin Booker out of Kansas. You'll either need to develop Booker, who starts out as a 69 overall, nice, or find someone else to rush the passer opposite Sweat. On the offensive line, the only player above an 80 overall is right guard Tevin Jenkins. They'll need to draft and sign some guys up front to keep Williams safe. If you don't, he could become the second coming of Andrew Luck. Take it from a Colts fan, you don't want that. New York Giants. The other team featured on Hard Knocks this year is the New York Football Giants.
All hail the New York Giants!
The big headline of the offseason for New York was the departure of star running back Saquon Barkley in free agency. When looking at the Giants roster, you can see that this team is already in the midst of somewhat of a rebuild. There is young talent all over the roster. Wide receiver Malik Neighbors, tight end Theo Johnson, corner Andrew Phillips, and free safety Tyler Nubin all have hidden dev traits to start off. Pass rushers Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau are all 26 years old or younger. The secondary is led by multiple emerging talents under 25 years old. The main thing missing from the team is a quarterback. 27-year-old Daniel Jones suffered an ACL injury which ended his 2023 season. Jones comes into Madden NFL 25 as only a 71 overall. With all the young talent around the QB position, this team looks similar to how the Bears were before drafting Williams this year. If you are able to either draft, sign, or trade for that elite field general, you could be well on your way to another magical Giants Super Bowl. However, Jones is owed over $40 million a year through 2026, so moving on from him could hurt your salary cap situation. Denver Broncos. In the Mile High City, the Broncos are in the midst of one of the longest rebuilds in the league. Denver has not made the playoffs since their Super Bowl 50 win. Part of that is due to the revolving door of quarterbacks that have come and gone from the franchise. This has included guys like Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, Joe Flacco, Teddy Bridgewater, Case Keenum, and most recently Russell Wilson. Now the Broncos have 24-year-old rookie Bo Nix under center. Though he starts out with a 72 overall, his impressive play in the preseason could lead him to getting a ratings boost before the start of the NFL season. Unlike the other teams on this list, the Broncos actually have an impressive offensive line, with 3 players over an 80 overall. However, there aren't many great targets on offense for Nix to throw to. Many of the receivers on the team are nearing 30, outside of 22-year-old Marvin Mims Jr. Finding elite pass catchers to help Nix out will need to be a priority early in your rebuild. The main struggle for the Broncos is on defense. There's only one player on the defense above an 80 overall, and that's star cornerback Patrick Surtain Jr., who comes in at a 95 overall. You'll need to decide if you want to extend the young Surtain and build around him, or use his high value to trade for players to fill the several holes on your defense. Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are the lowest rated team in Madden NFL 25 at a 75 overall. The highest rated player is safety Budda Baker at a 90 overall. After Baker, there's a huge drop-off to the next highest-rated player, running back James Conner, at just an 83 overall. Quarterback Kyler Murray is owed between $43 and $55 million a year through the 2028 season, so moving on from him isn't really an option unless you want to be in salary cap hell. Murray's only a 77 overall with star development just a few years after being talked about as an MVP candidate. Like most of the other teams on this list, the Cardinals need help along the line of scrimmage. On the offensive line, you have 23-year-old left tackle Paris Johnson Jr. and 80 overall right guard Will Hernandez as some promising pieces. You need to fill out the rest of the line to keep your incredibly expensive quarterback upright. On defense, there isn't much good to say about the front seven. There isn't anyone on this roster that excels at either rushing the passer or stopping the run. While the secondary has some young talent, you'll need to focus mainly on your D-line and linebackers in the draft and free agency. Washington Commanders. The last team on this list has been looking for that franchise quarterback since Kirk Cousins took his talents to Minnesota. The Commanders hope to have found that guy in Heisman Trophy winner and number 2 overall pick Jaden Daniels. Daniels starts out as a 74 overall and also has 90 speed, making him the 5th fastest quarterback in Madden NFL 25. With the Commanders, there isn't one particular area that's lacking talent. There's plenty of weapons for Daniels to throw to, the offensive line is good enough to protect him. There's talent spread throughout every level of the defense as well. The Commanders more so need to just develop the talent that they have, while bringing in a few more veteran pieces to fill their remaining needs. While this may not be the most challenging rebuild, running around with Jaden Daniels like he's Mike Vick from Madden NFL 04 should be tons of fun. Plus, playing in the division with the Cowboys and the Eagles should still provide enough of a challenge. Well, that's going to do it for this video, everyone. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave it a like and let us know down in the comments which team you are rebuilding first in Madden 25. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. And for all your sports gaming news and updates, stay tuned to Sports Gamers Online. I'm Brendan Satterwhite with SGO. Thank you for watching.